friends, and welcome to Coffee with My Sunshine. Today I'm going to be working on 3 super easy, super budget friendly, really pretty traditional Christmas DIYs. So for this first one, you're just going to need some succulents, these ornaments, and everything I purchased here is pretty much from the Dollar Tree. You'll also need some of this floral foam or plastic foam, some sand, and one of these little garden dishes or plastic bowls. And I'm going to be using this white spray paint and also some gray, but I forgot to show you, and this glitter. So first I'm going to spray the succulents white. This is obviously preference on whatever color you want to go with. So I just took a box that I'd spray painted on before, obviously, and just poked holes so that it would hold the succulents in place. And I just gave each succulent a couple coats from different angles. That way you get underneath and from the side, and to coat it really well. While those are drying, I just took the plastic dish and some of that gray paint and a sponge, because I like the texture it gives. And I'm just going to be dabbing all over this bowl. I want it to have like a cement look, and I'm using the gray Waverly chalk paint because I wanted it to be matte, just like cement or concrete would be. Then I'm taking this black and dabbing that on just like I did the gray, but a little bit less. And then I just layered it. I did more light over the black until I was happy with what it looked like. And I also did a little bit on the inside because you're going to be seeing that even with the sand and stuff in it. So this is what it looks like completely dry. It kind of has a concrete look to it. So then I took those plastic foam pieces and glued them together because I wanted the height, and then I'm going to hot glue it to the bowl. And this, I didn't really know what to call it, besides maybe it's like a Christmas centerpiece or something. So then I'm taking that bag of sand. I ended up using 2 bags because I just wanted it to be a little bit fuller. And this is also preference. You could do rocks, you could do pine cones, you could do whatever you want. I just thought this would look really pretty and kind of minimal, I guess. So after those were done drying, I should have done another coat of white, but I didn't. I took some adhesive spray and that glitter and sprinkled the glitter on the top. These probably would have been really pretty, except I wasn't daring enough to be spray painted like a matte black. I should try that. And then with the glitter added, I think that would be really pretty. And it would go with the DIYs I did in my last video that were more of the modern black, gold, and white look. I'll link that above if you're interested. So I took that second bag of sand and sprinkled it on top of the foam, just so you couldn't see it as much. And then filled in around the edges. And then I'm taking a little poker thing. This is a tool that I got from Arteza, but you could easily use a pencil or anything that would poke a hole. And I had trimmed off the bottom part of the succulent so that it would fit and wouldn't be sticking out really high. And I want to apologize. I didn't realize it until after I was done doing the video that I forgot to cover up my burn on my finger. I know it probably looks disgusting. So I really apologize, but I didn't want to scrap the video because of it. So I tried to trim out the the footage where it was like in your face. So I'm sorry. I'm also going to be adding some hot glue to the stems of these and then putting them back into the foam just so they stay in place a little bit better, because I know it's something my cat will probably want to chew on. Then I'm taking those Christmas bulbs and adding them to the sand. I think it just gives it like, I don't know, like a really happy vibe. I don't know, I like how the red stands out. I think it's really pretty. I also ended up adding, which you'll see here in a second, some of the vase filler that they have at the Dollar Tree because I thought it was really pretty too. You could leave it super simple like this. I think that's gorgeous. It would be awesome on like a coffee table or centerpiece on like a runner or something. But I thought I would show you both ways. So let me know what you guys think of this one. For this next one, I saw this really cute jar and thought it would be perfect for something I had in mind. It really reminds me of one that Yami from the Latina Next Door did recently for some, it was a fall decor. I think it was a centerpiece that she did on her table. It was gorgeous. So you should head on over and check that out. It was a similar vase, but not the same. So anyway, I'm using these picks. The first one was from the Dollar Tree. These two are from Walmart. They were only 98 cents a piece, but I loved them. I loved the little snowflakes and stuff on them and the sparkly, you know, I'm all about glitter. So I am going to be using this, it's like an off-white paint, and I'm adding baking soda to the mixture just to make it a little bit more matte, because I didn't want it to be a shiny finish, and I just painted on a couple coats and then used the sponge to dab it on again just so that I didn't have brush strokes showing. But I think it's cool because it really makes the design on this stand out when you paint it. So this is where I used the sponge and the same color paint and just went over it. It kind of gives it like a ceramic look afterwards. Once it dries, I'll show you here in a second. See, I think it looks kind of cool like that. So then you're going to want to use a ribbon. I think this one, I can't remember if this one was from Walmart or Hobby Lobby, but it was super cheap. And I just put this on the top just so you didn't see the, you know, the threads where you'd normally put the lid on. And I thought it just added a little bit of festiveness. So I'm getting really, really excited to decorate for Christmas. I'm really trying to hold out until after Thanksgiving, which is something my husband asked very nicely a long time ago, that I hold off on Christmas decorations because he just wants to be able to enjoy Thanksgiving, which I do too, but I love Christmas decorations. I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I really like having them up, but by the time Christmas is over, I am so ready to take them down. So I don't know. Maybe I couldn't do 2 full months of Christmas decorations. Never done it, but I think it would be fun to try once. So anyway, then I started adding the picks to the jar, and I thought it would be fine like this, but it just kind of like flopped. It didn't really have, I don't know, it didn't seem like it would stay. So I just took some floral foam and cut it up into little pieces and threw it in the bottom of the jar so that I could, you know, jab the picks in and they would stay in place. I don't know. I know this one was really simple, and I've been doing a lot of simple DIYs, but sometimes those are the best. And I picked that little sign in the background from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to leave it because I think it's so cute. For this last one, I was drawn to these little houses from the Dollar Tree, but I like all the colors, but it wouldn't go with my style that I'm going with this year, so I thought it'd be fun to try and paint them to make them look like the ones you see at like Pottery Barn or Target and all that. So I'm giving it a shot. I first thought I would spray paint it. I used this chalk paint, and I used this textured spray paint. My thought was to use that on the roofs. It sounded weird. So I ended up spraying them, gave them a couple coats, but the color was still coming through pretty strong. So I ended up just bringing them in, and plus it was so cold in my garage, nothing dries. So I'm just going to paint them with just regular paint like I used on the jar. And I just kind of dabbed it on so that it got into the little nooks and crevices, and then used a smaller paintbrush to get into the even smaller areas. And that worked awesome. It coated really well. And then I just took a dry brush and added some gray to it for the roof, like the shingles. And I did it really lightly, that way it still looked like there was snow on the roof. And this obviously doesn't have to be perfect. I don't know if you've seen the ones, I can't even tell you where they're from, but I've seen them on Pinterest and stuff, and I think they just look really cool. They're ceramic as well. So I'm taking some green paint and just adding it back to the wreath because I wanted these to have a little bit of color, like little pops of color. And then I added some red to the bow on the wreath. And I just thought it was super adorable. And I still wasn't happy with it after that, so I scratched off the paint where the sign was above the door that said antique shop. I just think that was super cute. And these are super cool because the bottom, you just take that sticker off and you put in a little tea light candle, and the little windows glow. I'll show you here at the end. I only had one tea light candle, a fake one, battery powered. Don't obviously put a real one in here, but I only had one, so I put it in the little church, and I'll show you here in a second. So for the church, I thought it would be cute to do like a one that looked like a really old church. So I did some black on the top, and then around the edges I don't know, I think these are cool because you can get really creative, and if it doesn't work, just paint them white again and start over. I think these would be really cool if you did a bunch of them to do like a little village on like a little side table or something, or a shelf. So I did the same kind of thing on the roof as I did on the last one, and just went really lightly around the edges and on the rooftop. And I'm going to dab a little bit of red paint on the door because I've seen pictures, like winter pictures of really old churches, and they have a really weathered looking red door, and I don't know, just super cute. Then I wanted a wreath on here, so I just took a couple little like sprigs from some greenery and glued them together, and then added these little berry things from one of those picks from the jar I just did, and I glued it on there, and I think it's kind of cute. Like I said, this was just fun and kind of an experiment, and I think it turned out super adorable. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope you guys had fun with this like I did. Thanks so much for watching and all your love and support. I hope you all are staying safe, happy, and healthy, and I'll see you next time. Bye!